record finally. Okay, hi, hello. My name is Julia, and I could be your erotic photographer. And this live translation will be about fetish photography. Okay, so what it is fetish photography and how people understand fetish photography, because that's two different things. Okay, here we go straight away, not going very further into fetish. Okay, there are mm, different fetishes, and there are different people understanding differently about fetishes. Okay, and if you look at the olden days, fetish was something related to something kinky, something sexually, something dirty, something what is outside the norm. Okay, and people were hiding their fetishes, right? They were not accepting that they have a fetish. And now probably everyone has a fetish, everyone knows that they have the fetish. It just, the question is what kind. Okay, what kind of the fetish? I don't know, something is itching on my face. So what that means, what kind of the fetish? If fetishes, you can be turned on, you can choose as a preference, you like certain things, you switch on certain things, you react to certain things, specific things, right? That is your fetish when you are feeling, okay, certain emotions, right? So fetishes or fetish photography or fetish photo shoot adventures can be related to directly to the person, right? So you would be feeling some kind of a specific, okay, again, the fetishes are specific needs, specific fantasy, specific desire, specific objects. Okay, it not necessarily have to be related. So it can be related with the action. Okay, it can be related with some kind of a fantasy. That can be your fetish. Fetish can be your object. Okay, object, any kind of an object could be a fetish. You can have a fetish for earrings, for example, or you can have a fetish for colored nails. Okay, or you can have a fetish for smoking, right? So before, it's not really a smoking, right? But before, people were thinking that fetishes are something what is mystery, not allowed, like I say, outside the norm, right? But now we understand that fetishes is just a kinky word, fancy word for something what you have obsession on. Not only obsession, preference. Let's say people prefer blondes to brunettes, right? And you can say that he has the fetish for blondes. Okay, you can say this way, right? And this guy, why I started this video about fetish photography and in general about fetishes, is that this guy was leaving me comments. Okay, and when you watch this video, you can leave me comments and ask about the fetishes, because today is the fetish theme, right? So what he wrote me is about body fetish. Okay, so he has obsession about the piercings, okay, earrings in the body. Okay, and that's for him was something, what turns him on, what he get attention attracted to. Okay, where he can how to say, some person will ignore this and would be unnoticeable, right? But if you have a certain fetish, then or for example, feet fetish, right? Usually when people communicating, most likely you would not look onto someone's feet or how the feet looks like, and unless you have a feet fetish, right? You would first thing will check that. So people have those fetishes. Okay, show me who doesn't. Okay, they lie. They don't want to call it fetishes. You can call it in different names, right? But it is related to your personality, and it is related to your how to say, conscious reactions and subconscious reactions in your body. Okay, so it's directly related to you. Like I say, it can be something about you. Okay, it can be something about someone else, or it can be, a, a dildo, fetish for toys, fetish for how to say, whatever kind of a fetish. And of course there is outfits. Okay, and people have a lot of fetishes about outfits. That's, here we go, if you go to underwear and lingerie collections. People get fetishes about, I don't know, stockings, suspender belts, or you buying and buying certain things what you really like. Okay, and so you want to have this in your life, or at least you want to differentiate yourself in a certain way, that you have this specific thing, right? Why I'm talking about this, because very often when people have a fetish or they have some kind of a fantasy and it's not fulfilled, they would come to the photo shoot and they would say that I have this fetish and I would like to go, my story or my photo shoot will go around that topic. Okay, and that's what's happening here. Usually it is related with clothing. Okay, a lot of fetishes are with shoes, with whatever you are going to wear. I had this one fetish photo shoot with army clothes. Okay, and and they were real army clothes. Okay, they were heavy. Okay, they were heavy jackets. Everything was really heavy, but we were shooting it in a sexual fetish way, and it was a really funny photo shoot because even those attributes when you go to the field, a lot of how to say it, belts with this kind of a things inside them, put inside them, I don't know, tools, whatever they are. I'm not in army, I cannot explain, but I am just saying people go so much into something that they will come with the equipment that it's a fetish, right? And they want a photo shoot, but you would think that maybe he's an army, or maybe he's a some kind of a soldier. But now you can get anything and buy anything, and you can express yourself in many types of fetishes the way you want. Okay, the most important thing why you are doing it or why you are interested in, you have this attraction to certain thoughts, to certain ideas, to certain visions and fantasies. It is somehow sexually stimulates you, and of course you will be working, and your body and your mind will be working towards something what produces you some how to say pleasurable sensations, right? And when you go deeper into topic which is really your fetish, that's when you enjoy. It's like children, you give them games to play, and that's their fetish. Okay, because they can get all off this, and if you will give it away, you would see how much it takes for them, and you could be sorry as well for taking games, right? So that's how you develop this fetish. Okay, and the reason why I'm comparing this with children game, because it's something, it's like it becomes a habit, it becomes something what you live with. Okay, and can you change the fetish, or can you somehow shape the fetish? Yes, you can change the fetish, but this is type of the, in general, sexual activity emotionally is rated to a positive and a negative stimulations. Okay, and so when people, the reason why I'm saying you this is because when people are on the positive vibration, right, they want everything vanilla romance, they want, they even something, more stronger or powerful and stuff. But when people are on a lower vibration, so there is a positive vibration, there is a zero, and there is a lower vibration, and sexual adventures in their head, okay, may come from that lower vibration. Okay, in terms of energy and in terms of emotion, and that's where all these fetishes are coming off. To sneak on someone, to watch someone, okay, to be raped, to be humiliated, to be dominated, to be like, there is a certain, how to say, well, in your life you can experiment and you can try many things, but all I'm saying is you can smoke, you can drink, but if you're doing it sensibly, right, and trying certain things, and making your life more colorful, right? But when you stuck on certain topic, right? When you just smoke every day, or drink every day, that's when it's hurting you, right? Hurting you physically and hurting you emotionally. The same exactly happens with the fetishes. Okay, and that is why I'm very sometimes I'm very even concerned, and I'm happy to meet people with the fetishes. I know I have it, everyone has it, but depending on what kind, and what's happening in the personality. I remember, I can tell you the story. I'm not gonna edit it now because I'm telling you the story. Okay, so there was one guy who called me many times about this very illegal fetish. Okay, so of course I know about this fetish. Of course I watched and I heard about it, and it's not that like I watched it, it's never been my thing, but I know that people are doing this, right? And so his fetish was to have a photo shoot with a dog. Okay, and very sensible guy. Okay, very sensible guy. I don't know, seriously. I spoke with him many times. It's just obsession. The person is trying to convince me to have this photo shoot, and for many years he is trying to find someone, and now he's found me, and he thinks that I'm doing everything and I'm unlimited and stuff. And first I wanted to be strict and reject this case, and then I thought I will just see where it goes. Okay, I would just see, because I think, how to say, at that point I'm thinking this is not, everything is not right with that guy, and I need just to address it properly. Okay, I accepted his request. I've listened to everything what he wants, and I said I will see how it will go. And you would not believe this. I've decided to do this. Maybe we can just play out somehow the whole thing, So there are many ways how you go about the photo shoot. You can act out, okay? You can do it real. I prefer all the time real, right? Especially when it happens between the family, between the couple, right? It has to be real. But sometimes when you're doing certain photo shoots, people can act, right? And I am not here that policeman with the stick punishing people. And was that kind of a photo shoot. And I asked one model, I said, can you act out this type of ideas? I know, I said, it's very not something that I would do, but it's just theoretically. Could you do that for this type of reward, and so on and so on? At that moment, it happened really long time ago. Okay, I didn't know how to respond and how to react, and especially when you know that the person is not joking and seriously want to book a photo shoot, seriously want, even he even agreed to book photo shoot with the model. Okay, and I thought, oh, I would never do this, but I thought if the model will go, that would be like a life adventure to see this, to see this. And I've been in many life adventures, and I'm not scared, even if he would be like a maniac or whatever. I know what to do. I kind of cool with this, right? But what happened is that, these people, they clearly have this ill imagination, and he just called me too many times, okay, to confirm, to talk about, and I can just see, that it just takes a lot of my energies. This the whole thing is draining me down, and then, sometimes there are people like that. Okay, and I've met through my life, I met people who would think of a ridiculous fantasy or ridiculous idea, come to you and try to make it so complicated, so ridiculous, that you would say no. Okay, you just say like, enough, no, and I can tell you example of this fantasy. For example, oh, I have this fantasy that I would like my girlfriend, how to say, have a cuckold fantasy shoot with a lot of men, and everyone is coming on her, and it's just like all this crazy, and you would listen and think, yes, 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 and then that these people just want to find someone, okay, and talk it out. Okay, so if you do not have, if you do not have a therapist, right, you would go to your friend, maybe, I don't know, not everyone, but you would go and say all your fantasies. So sometimes I feel this way because there is a lot of people just randomly, you know, that he just had this in his head for so many years, and then he saw you, he thought that you are that perfect person who would he tell everything, not necessarily that he's going to book, but at least share this grandiose, you know, idea of the erotic photo shoot, and amazing, and even, and if I would have funds to fund that grandiose idea, would be even better. Okay, but unfortunately I don't fund any clients photo shoot and grandiose ideas. So I rejected this shoot with animal. I wasn't even planning to do so. I was thinking to go around it and just help this guy, and then move this photo shoot towards model. Okay, and I was just thinking, no wonder, you know, if these people will be treated in a certain way, they could go just, you know, angry and just go and rape people. Well, thanks God that there is porn, you know, in these situations when I can see that people have certain, you know, how to say, certain things in their mind and you don't know about their agenda. I am thankful, okay, for all the channels who translate adult content in the different variety of the format, okay, because I can tell you, different people come and stumble on different fetishes they have, and it's bothering them. Okay, it's just bothering them. It's just bothering to the point that they are able to write you an email or 50 emails about this fantasy and fetish situation they have in their head. Seriously, seriously, that's the thing. The reason why I'm talking about this, because you don't know. You don't know anything about your fetish, maybe. You don't know about anyone's fetish, or maybe you know about anyone's fetishes. But I am saying some people are seriously holding on to these ideas, developing these ideas, trying or finding someone who can somehow impact or grow that fantasy, right? An erotic photo shoot and fetishes, this is actually that expression of yourself, right? And people are expressing through many things, right? They're expressing through clothing, they dress in this certain way. I shot a lot of cool fetish outfits. They are for me, oh my gosh, they are for me the best. Okay, the only problem I have with all these fetish outfits, they are hard to put on. It takes time. When there is a fetish photo shoot and people are seriously ready, okay, and I mean bought a lot of stuff for fetish and just will come with luggages, and everything what you see would be amazing to take a picture and to capture, right? But then you have to add an hour on the photo shoot time just to put this on and take it off. It's just at least an hour just for dressing. Sometimes this latex, people are crazy about this latex, and this latex to put on the skin is a torture. Okay, and imagine for people trying to fit this on. Okay, it's seriously that I need to record one day to see how hard it is. And then you need to put it on, you need to rub it, you need to put that oil on so it will be. It's, people think that this is, you know, how to say, you come in, you just blink, everything is on. This is a fetish photo shoot. No, you need to put a lot of effort and invest time and invest into ideas and invest into settings in general that this fetish photo shoot would look like fetish. So you need to add that fetish into the picture. And very often, like I say, there are outfits which are fetish, right? But there are toys and props which are fetish. And also, like I say, there are people, okay, you can have two blondes or three blondes if you have a blonde fetish, right? So that's where you go and top it up on the fantasy. Dressing up is not really, how to say, enough here in the studio. And in general, in my studio, just to dress up, it's not enough. Okay, you have to know what kind of how to say performance you are going to play here, and what kind of expressions and energies we are going to shoot and create. Okay, because that's the most important thing. Okay, how much we will undress, and what we are going to do when we undress, and how much we can try during that photo shoot. Okay, so fetishes, no matter and what kind of the fetishes I welcome in my studio, but like I say, there are things that compromise health and safety, and I just told you one option, which is with dogs. First of all, it's illegal. Second of all, it's animals. Okay, and I am not willing to watch this with animals. For me, it's like, how to say, the reason why I was curious is because I just wanted to meet these people, who has that fantasy. And then when I've got closer to know that person who wants to shoot, I didn't want to meet that person. I just decided, no, I will survive. I don't need this. It's enough fantasies in my life already happened. Okay, and something with the dog is just, how to say, people are entertaining themselves, and this relationship to that fantasy, like I say, came on the lower energy vibration. Okay, because these type of fantasies come from the bottom. Okay, so like I say, if you look at your sexual adventure or sexual desires or sexual attraction even, right? Oh, we can talk about sexual attraction. Okay, because then again you could understand emotionally what kind of people attracts you, right? Because again, your vibration and your match with a certain person reflects your inner state. Okay, inner state, right? And if you are on the lower vibration, for example, you are you like rough sex, right? You would not go with the vibration with the person who is absolutely vanilla and and can't do anything, right? People, when they meet each other, they understand this vibration. They don't need to say to each other straight away, okay, that how to say, I want this and I want this, right? They just think about it. Okay, and they try to feel what kind of a sexual attraction that person would portray, would bring, what kind of the information everyone is meeting, or everyone is how to say, I'm not talking now about friendships or kind of a meetings. I'm talking now about your intimate life and your interest in intimate life, right? When you have interest in intimate life, you, of course, you are communicating with yourself. Okay, if you are alone, or you try and communicate with someone else, right? And when you're trying to communicate, it's, of course, is based sexually, and you trying to analyze that person and see how much of that match is in that person, and how much of the vibrations and sensations that person will bring. Okay, and that's how we meet, we evaluate that. I don't want to be here. I am rude anyway, but I just don't want to make anything up. We meet people and we don't think about how nice would be to read books with her in the library. We don't. We meet people and we measure sexually straight away. And it happens subconsciously, subconsciously. You would just try on another person, without even thinking about it. You can just be, in a coffee shop and waiting for your order, and someone will come in your field, and that energy which approach you, it just will take over you, right? And you would see that person, and you measure straight away that person instantly, sexually, you fancy or not, sexy or not. Okay, will I be able to be or not? Sometimes these measures are not accurate. Okay, And that's why we need to work on ourselves. Okay, because why it's not accurate, like I say, we all want to be happy. Okay, and we all need to understand that energetically, and we are, energetical beings, right? And energetically, it's the most important thing. Okay, to find that match, so that you would be comfortable. Okay, you would be in the comfort zone, right? You would feel what you want to feel, right? Certain sensations, certain stimulations. There are a lot of other emotions which are related to that person. And you would think about these emotions, I speak about myself, on the positive scale. Okay, I don't think about these emotions when I think about my partner on the other side, on the negative emotion. Okay, so most of the time, that's how we choose our people. However, personality can have both of the items in them. Okay, they have some part of the positive emotions, and there will be note of the negative one, and you would see that, and you are looking and trying to match by yours. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, when you analyzing yourself sexually, right, and trying many things, you more likely to find and match that person correctly, because you're doing work with yourself and you know yours vibrations and you know your energies. Okay, and that's the whole magic. And there is nothing is written on the book, and no one will tell you what is the formula. Okay, and by your past, which you have the past, and you know what kind of people you met, they all been those lessons for you to understand yourself better, right? And what happens usually sexually, right? If people get single, or if people get lonely, or if people get how to say, feeling abandoned in the relationship, it is only because they didn't match that properly. Okay, it that's sexually we want to be compatible all the time, and sexually we want to transform our relationship and change our relationship, because we do not want to be on the one level. No, seriously, you meet on one level, and then the other person cannot, go anywhere emotionally. It just, it just stays. And that's what happens. Okay, we are changing and we are evolving, and every time when we had a certain experience, right, we have a partner, we're already having this experience with a partner, we can go a level up. Okay, and then every part in this collaboration have to understand which way is that level up. Okay, and what they do, and what's happening in the relationship. I can tell you that people in general do not speak about themselves sexually, and do not discuss this. Okay, do not speak about sexual situations. They happy that they have some or any or at least it's happening, or at least there is, a chance, or a perspective or something, and that's it. The reason why we do not discuss our sexual attractions, the way it is for you, what is best for you, and so on, because that's what we did. We didn't talk about that. Okay. And why I start talking about erotic photography, because I want to remind everyone a very special moment. Because I learned my erotic and my sex from the photograph. That's what I didn't see, and I didn't, how to say, and I am sure that you also did that. You've seen the photograph in magazine, or you've seen somewhere, you've seen some visual content. That's how you evolved sexually, right? You was looking for certain content. There was nothing available that you would just go and chapter 5. You need to do this and this. You knew that there is how to say this book where you learn and try a lot of gymnastic situations and things, and that is all interesting, but every person connects on their level. No one can give you any advice because they don't have your DNA. Okay, they do not feel the world the way you experience. Okay, they have different sensations, they have different orgasms, they have different time to turn on and turn off, and so on and so on. And every person in this world lives their own personal sexual life, intimate life. Okay, if someone can teach you about finances, or someone can teach you about how to say, to become expert at something, or some kind of a skills they can teach you, I don't know, now there are a lot of so clever people, oh my god, I don't want to listen to any of this because everyone wants to speak out. But in terms of intimacy and in terms of sexual IQ and sexual personality, no one will tell you anything more than you can tell about yourself. And when you are going to know it, when you will start gathering information. Okay, so photography is the first thing. Okay, people think, yes, this is my body, I've seen myself every day, and I live in it, and I know what I like, and I know, what I fancy. And yes, and yes, and then again, I need to remind everyone that we are, how to say this, automatic machines, and we love the routine, and we like to go into cycles, and we go into that cycle, and we stay really long time in that cycle just because they don't want to go and try anything new. It's like we like it already. It's like it's what is for us, right? And we stuck all the time. To get us out of the move out somewhere else, you need to get out of the comfort zone. To get out of the comfort zone, it's scary, right? It is. Maybe you need to meet someone, maybe you need to try something new, maybe you need, so you know how to say, evolving on this sexual level, it is also your responsibility. you know no one will go around and write a book for you that you can read and understand about your sexual being, sexual body, and connection between your body, between your sensual, soulful you, right? And your sensations and your hormone rhythms and other reactions, right? Everything happens for you, uniquely for you, in your body and individually with you. And that's what you need to understand. Okay, that this is something what you work on. The more you work on that, the more you know. Okay, the more you know yourself, the more you know someone else. Okay, and from one side, it is very scary. Okay, because people are getting into certain traps when they feel that they have a lot of information. In general, you know what that is, the information, what information does. Okay, so when we do not have enough information, everything looks quite scary. People are holding back and so on. Then they have information about certain topics, they are more comfortable to go ahead and do certain things about it, right? So that's why I'm talking about fetish photography. Yeah, if people have fetishes and they're interested in fetish photography, most likely you need to do something about it. Okay, if you came all that way and writing me 10 images, then clearly you need to try for yourself fetish photography. Look for fetish photographers, look for how to say, how you want to, what you want to do about your fetish, right? Because what that guy wrote me, that he has a fetish for a belly button. Do I need to tell you something else? Okay. It's most likely that your next girlfriend or next adventure will be with woman who has a belly button. That's where you should go next. Okay, because if you're writing me that you have this fetish and have this interest, I am, I am not here to judge of anyone on, or say something. I am in the opposite there, saying that you should explore this. Okay, you should explore this specific option, and that's it. I can tell you my personal story. You will be you will be dropped. So I was studying this photography, start working in the studio. I've realized I do not have enough skills. Okay, I just need it. Okay, I just need it. I thought that if I would have a document, okay, the paper, I would be a great photographer. Okay, so I went and I learned photography 3 years here in England, and I've started already shooting portraits. Okay, and I've realized that portrait photography is very limited. It's always, I kind of was looking at these people. First, I did one type of work for portraits, and then I started undressing them. I started looking what will happen if I remove one item, another item. What would happen if they will sit topless? Okay, what would happen, and so on and so on. That's how I've experimented then, and then I started shooting models, right? And I started from free photo shoots, and then I moved into paid photo shoots. Till one day, this request about the fetish photography arrived. Julia, don't know anything about fetish, saying, yeah, sure, I can do that. Julia went and did the research. Okay. And here is in Richmond, my studio based in Richmond. There was a point for Fetish Macintosh before, like a very popular shop. Then everything went online, and this shop was closing down. And I was the one who just managed before it closed down to get in there. Okay, so there was one guy who told me that, oh, look, go to the village on that street. You will find this shop. You go inside. You speak with the owner. This is the guy, and so I did. Imagine going into the shop, but the shop looked like umbrellas and Wellington boots. Okay, I thought, what is this fetish thing going on? So it was in disguise. Okay, the shop was covered, like I say, just coats and Wellington boots, umbrellas. And then I came in and I said, I'm looking for a fetish shop. I want to know what is this fetish and BDSM outfits look like, right? And he said, okay, let's go. I'll show you behind the store. And he brought me into this shop. Inside there was these fetish outfits. But from these fetish outfits were from starting from the oldest days. Okay. I've started looking to these collections, and these outfits were for men who want to change into the woman. Okay, and they're all like maids, and like all of that, and the way they were styled and the way they were designed, I don't know, it was not only grandmas. I don't know who will buy and who will wear this, but they were made from latex, and and he had a great story about this Macintosh and so on. And so I went there, and I've seen a little bit of the past fetish shop, and he directed me online, and I went and I checked online. Okay, and then you go on Google and just say fetish dating, and there will be plenty of sites who are on there. Okay, and in general, online dating is huge. Human shopping, or human human shopping online, is getting bigger and bigger, and that's why, again, you need erotic photography to express yourself, and first of all to understand how. Okay, because in a dating in general, right, again, visual information is the most important. What images are for dating? Fetishes, not fetishes, you can put this in a picture. You can make, you if you're looking for that special match, right? Imagine we talking today about the fetishes, right? Imagine if you put one picture of your feet, right? People will understand straight away what kind of the personality you are and that you're looking someone to worship your feet, right? And when I say this, now the guys who are lying on the sand on holiday taking picture of their feet and putting on on the website will be, yes, yes, I'm talking to you. Yes, there are people, seriously, they like their feet so much they will take a picture of their feet and they will put on the dating website. They do not put their own face, but they would put their feet, and then they waiting for a special lady to arrive to their destination. The fish should swim towards them, right? So that's what I'm saying. Fetishes are represented through visual attraction, right? So if you want to attract someone, you show your fetish on dating, right? Seriously, and that is very important for everyone to know, because people in general, this is me with my live uh, streams, right? I never say to anyone, I constantly forget that I am going to create erotic galleries online that people will see a lot of options. I even go to the fetish one, but that will be just the last one, because I'll tell you why. There is a lot of very rough, okay, shoots, and people don't like watch someone in pain. So majority of my photo shoots, they are all about sex, passion, making love, and positive, okay, positive expression, right? But when we go to fetish and BDCM photo shoot, the vibration and the mood of the energy not always positive. Okay, like I say, during that photo shoot with the dominatrix model, for example, depending on the fetish, what kind of the fetish person wants, maybe he wants to be how to say, whipped, right? So the dominatrix model will perform certain fetishes, and they are lower vibrations when someone is humiliating or beating someone. Okay, so that's two different situations. Okay, oh, I can see someone is from the fetish here. So this, the whole video, I'll try to save it, is going to be about the fetishes. And I'm just explaining from my perspective about erotic photography and fetishes, okay? So like I say, erotic photography in general, positive sex, okay, hot, healthy, okay, passion, how to say, strong feelings or sensual or romantic, that is all positive. When we go into fetish or BDCM photography and creating this art is not necessarily positive. You're going below the zero, and you can beat someone, torture someone, and perform negative actions, okay, and cause someone pain. And I'm totally fine to take a picture or all of that. Okay. I am absolutely fine. I remember one moment the guy booked two models to torture him. Okay. And I was taking photography, right? I was taking pictures. And it was a very awkward situation when there was one moment when we didn't agree with the models completely, and so the models finished the set, finished the scenes, and then left to change to another outfit to perform another setting, another role play with the client. And client was in that moment when he was all hands behind his back and knees and everything. He was in ropes, and he was how to say, dominated at that moment. And then they left, and I'm standing with the camera, and they changing, and I'm thinking what to do. And this guy sitting, like the service is finished, not finished, the other girl separate. So I should have made one model change and then the other one at that time, right? So when they both left, I decided not to spoil the mood. I put on next to me was high heels, and I put on the heels like that, and I came to him and I said, don't be relaxing here too much. The girls will come back. And I put this heel right into his thigh, with and start filming this. Okay. So because I learned, I've seen a lot of dominatrix performances. I'm absolutely fine uh, doing that. Okay. So like I say, fetish or domination photo shoot, it's like a gig, it's like a performance. The ladies would come and they would create a certain atmosphere, and they would lead you to the certain point depending on which models you choose and so on. But these points can be crucial for you, okay, in terms of a pain level, because I've been in some photo shoots where there was how to say, it was a challenging experience for men, because women can do this, women can do dominatrix. Okay, so I have few ladies who do an amazing service. Even I am blown away, with this vibe, even she is holding me, I am just there to witness everything and record everything on camera. But when I am there, I understand that I'm under that spell, under that power as well, and I'm also with this eyes and so on. So models, when they arrive to the studio, they like performers. That's their gig. Okay, it's not that person arrive to the studio and just wander around. You book a model to have a sexy adventure. Okay, and if you book a glamour model, you will have a glamour sexy shoot. Okay, that's all fine vanilla. You will play and do certain things, right? But when you book a dominatrix model, of course, depending on your requirements and stuff, then there will be how to say, some stuff rough going on, right? And depending on the client's requirements. So guys have different fantasies towards that fetish and different associations. Okay, but however, the way I would go it, for example, if we speak about belly button, yeah, belly button fetish. Hi, hello, belly button fetish came back. Belly button fetish is a high vibration. Okay, there is nothing violent in this fetish, right? Like I say, there are fetishes up and beyond the level, right? So if you fancy those blondes, right, so that's a good vibration. Okay, but if you fancy to have bruises on your skin, right, that's another fetish. Okay, and that's another vibration, another situation, and both options are available at my studio. Okay, I am quite relaxed and cool about fetishes, and I understand that people are experimenting and working on their personality, okay, to developing and to understanding towards what they're going in their life, because that's why they are here, not to. Yes, that's why we are here, to understand who we are, what we are doing, what we are liking, what sexually attracts us, what we should be practicing, how we will be living our life, and what we will be doing. Okay, so fetishes and any fantasies in mature world, right, has to have to take a place, right, not to leave. Okay, not to leave, because sometimes I look at this family psychologist, and they're joking, but I know that sex is leaving relationship, and with it, of course, all the excitement and all the adventure and everything, the interest in general. Okay, because that's then very hard. Okay, and sometimes people just move from the certain relationship into a fetish relationship, then can go back into this so they can, how to say, they can experiment. But the positive thing is that they are moving the relationship somewhere, they're trying something. Okay, maybe one partner likes it, another doesn't, and you will need to find, your own grounds and so on. And very often people are not compatible sexually. Okay, and they understand this, right? They understand this, and that's the hardest thing, that's the hardest thing. And I have been in this situation myself. Okay, because with time you would understand and see your partner more and more, and you would see for yourself how much you are, compatible, and how much your partner can cover your needs. And imagine if you have this thing for fetish, and you're scared, or don't want to mention because someone will think something about you. Or imagine you have this belly button fetish, you just realize, right? And you would say your wife, oh, maybe you should do this, right? And you will be dismissed. And that's how, in general, everything starting from like a simple sensual ideas. There are a lot of situations when women say to me that they've been approaching their guys or men, and they were ignored, and then, the sex life got, slower and slower, then it disappeared, and so on. And very often man has the sex life and wife doesn't, and it's her problem. I heard one guy said, that how to say, his wife is at home and watching children, and he is having his life. Okay, because he's not feeling attracted to his wife anymore, and he having sex, and he's not attracted to her, so she's not having. And so then she, how to say,